Hello, Hollywood Times viewers. Today we welcome singer-songwriter Levi Riggs. Hey, that's a cool name, Levi.
Well, thanks a lot.
Who are you named after?
Just myself, really. My dad, he actually, when I was born, my mom and dad were going to name me Aaron, and they said that Aaron doesn't sound like a strong enough name for the way you look, so we're going to name you Levi. So, I know.
There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I really like your background there.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I got it set up for kind of the Christmas theme. Yeah.
Well, we're really excited to have you because the Hollywood Times are excited that we get to premiere your Holly Jolly Christmas song tomorrow. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that.
Well, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it.
We're excited.
It was fun to get the chance to record it. I just wanted to do a song that kind of put people in the holiday cheer. Last couple of years have been pretty tough, so I wanted to kind of turn the page and just have a holly jolly Christmas.
As soon as I start watching it, you make that comment about, tribute to Alan Jackson, who's always been my favorite. I met him in 1990. I've been a fan. I've been to his Hollywood Walk of Fame. I know his wife. It's goes way back, and I just saw him in October. So when you made that little tribute to him, I had to stop your video because I cried because it just
Oh, wow. Well, I've been following Alan ever since I was a little kid living in Amarillo, Texas, listening to Chattahoochee and watching him sing on, CMT and things like that. And, I know he's going through a lot, seeing him at the award show and just the tributes that were done for him recently were incredible. And he's a legend and just a great man.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite of his besides Holly Jolly Christmas?
Yeah. I mean, just from a country standpoint, Daddy Let Me Drive, that's a great song. I can think back to when I was a kid, my dad let me drive the tractor, on the farm, and how much that meant to me that he'd put that trust in me. So yeah, there's a lot of great Alan Jackson songs for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing about country music. Boy, there's something, these songs just touch your heart, and that's what's so amazing about songwriters. And so let's talk about you. When did you do you play instruments, and if so, which ones, and when did you start playing?
Yeah. Well, I started singing when I was a kid. I was in a fifth grade musical, and I just moved from Amarillo, Texas to Indiana. And these girls were wanting to do a dance for this high school musical, but they needed somebody to sing. So they said, "Hey, you sound country. You're from Texas. You sound country." And I said, "Okay, well, They said, "Can you sing Sold by John Michael Montgomery? The Grundy County Auction." And I was 10 years old. I learned the song, and my dad just said, "Hey, go ham it up." So I took it up into the crowd and sang to all the people in the crowd, and that was when I kind of found out that I could sing. So from there, I did leads in musicals in school and that sort of thing, all the while playing sports and kind of blending sports and music together. I sang the national anthem at our regional championship football game. And then I sang for Purdue University. I went to college at Purdue and got a degree in agriculture, but they have a Purdue varsity glee club. And I had auditioned for the glee club, and I hadn't heard if I'd made it or not. And I was milking cows in our milking parlor, and the director of the glee club called me and said I made the group. So then, when I went to college, I was touring in a tour bus all across the country with the glee club, and that's when I found out I really loved singing country music, because I was singing country music as part of our show. So I went back and started writing country songs, and that's when I learned to play guitar. Was in college, so I played guitar. And that's really, I play acoustic and electric, but primarily acoustic, and just learned how to, I taught myself how to play, learn chords, and then just started writing songs that I thought would relate to people, in the rural lifestyle.
A lot of singer-songwriters, when I ask them about the guitar, they'll say that, oh yeah, I'm not, I just pick it up. And how do you learn? No one says they take lessons. They say they teach yourself. My boyfriend bought me a guitar, and I'm so afraid of it. What do you recommend?
Yeah, if I'd have done it all over again, I started on my dad's, it was like a 1973 Alvarez guitar, and the action was really high. So that's how far the strings are from the fretboard, right? And the
Okay.
further away those strings are from the fretboard, the harder it is to play. So I would recommend, finding a great guitar. I would recommend a Taylor, but they're just super playable. But having a guitar that has a fresh set of strings and sits with really low action, and then just find a song that you love, because that's the key, is just to try to find music that you love to play. And the first song that I learned on guitar was Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
No.
And so I learned how to play a G shape and a C and a D, and I just started hammering away at it until I finally figured it out. And then kind of moved on to
Wow.
some other things. But yeah, if you can just start with three chords, they say country music's three chords and the truth, but I'd say find the song that's your truth and then learn the three chords around it and play that.
Well, I like Ring of Fire. So you know what? I think I'm going to take your advice and try that out, because
Yeah.
I'm excited to try to learn.
Yeah, that's great.
That's cool. So then, do you remember, was that your first song you wrote, or what was one of your first songs that you thought, oh, I'm a songwriter?
Well, I went through kind of a nasty breakup in college, and that's kind of where you find out where music can heal, and even if you're lonely, music can be a companion. And I just started writing songs. I was really upset. And I think a lot of songs come out of pain. And that's really where it started for me. I had this old truck, and it was an F-150 truck. And, me and my girlfriend went on a lot of dates in it, and just doing things. But, I just wrote a song about that, just having fun with her and understanding that, okay, sometimes you just got to let people go. And even if, if it's not with you, they got to live their life with some, they got to move on as well. And so that's what I started doing, was just writing songs just to deal with some pain that I was dealing with. But then things started getting fun. I wrote some songs about tailgating, and the president of the American Tailgaters Association heard the song, and he goes, "Hey, why don't you come down and perform down at Lee Steinberg's Super Bowl party?" And Lee Steinberg's the current agent for Patrick Mahomes. And
Wow.
the movie Jerry Maguire was based upon his life. And so I went down, and there I am, and I'm singing to Lee and all these sports figures, and Serena Williams was there. And I remember standing there, and right next to me was Randy Travis. And I'm like, because Earl Campbell, who's a famous running back, was on the stage using my mic, and it was getting ready for my time to sing. And I turned over, and right next to me was Randy Travis, and I was standing next to my wife, and I leaned over and I said, "Randy Travis is directly to my left." And I just turned over and said hi to him. And I was like, "Man, it's so great to meet you." And he was just the kindest guy. I mean, just so kind. And this was before his stroke and
Yeah.
some of the things that happened. But man, just a great soul. And I just really enjoyed meeting him. He influenced a lot of my songwriting, in the fact of just, some of the gospel things that he wrote. There was an album called Glory Train.
Yes.
That I listened to a lot, and I just thanked him for his music. And so it was just, got a chance to meet one of my favorite heroes.
Oh yes,
Uh,
I've met him a few times prior to the stroke too, and he's
yeah,
something else. And he
yeah.
touches your life, and you have a good life after that. Believe me.
Yeah. So it was, just crazy where music can take you and songwriting can take you. And, now I'm doing other things, but, we've got a new song that we did that's out, and it's called Pour Some Whiskey on It. And it's a song that I worked with Noah Henson from Brantley Gilbert's band, and he helped me produce it. We used Lester Estelle on the drums, and he plays for Kelly Clarkson. And we just created this cool new rock sound with the song. And so we've got that out, and it's just talking about, hey, when things get tough, those old cowboys would just pour some whiskey on their wounds and just keep rolling and keep riding. And that's what this song's about. So we've got a lot of fun things coming up this next year that we're excited about.
Well, congratulations on that one. I know that one's going to go straight up there.
It's got a lot of momentum, and I'm getting a lot of texts and phone calls from folks in Nashville and in the music industry, folks that have produced #1 songs that are saying, "Man, you've got a great song here." And it's really exciting to see my fans react to it when we play it live. And I can't wait to see how 2023 ends up, because we've got a lot of momentum.
Yeah. So we always ask because of COVID, what did you do during that time? Did you write a lot or?
I stayed really busy. It was really tough because my band couldn't get together. And, so when we had the kind of the lockdown start in our rehearsal space, my band just left all of their equipment set up the way it was the last time we had a rehearsal. So every day for about 6 months, I was walking by all of their equipment because everybody was too afraid to, get together and do things. So, I grabbed my acoustic guitar, and then when summer hit, I said, "Hey, I'm just going to do a backyard house concert tour. I will come to your house. No money up front, just a donation. If you want to donate to me, that'd be great. But I'll just come to your house and I'll put on a concert in a socially distanced setting in your backyard." And it was awesome. And people were so gracious. I mean, we had so much fun. It was a big challenge for me because I typically, entertain and sing without a guitar. Even though I play, a lot of times when I'm with my band, I'm just the front man and I'm just worried about entertaining. So it was a good chance for me to work on my chops on guitar and kind of reconnect with myself, and just my musicality as a solo acoustic player. And I just had a lot of fun, and I know my fans appreciated it. And I got to just really kind of galvanize my relationships with my fan base through that too. We did some things out on some lakes where I'd sing off the docks and people would pull their boats up. And I remember one lake, we had like 80 boats out on the lake, and I was blasting my PA out to them. And there was a kid in a kayak that would go up to the boats and collect the donations. So we just had a blast, and tried to make the best of a tough situation.
Boy, if other entertainers hear this, they're going to go, darn, I wish I would have thought of that, because no one has said that before. So that was pretty cool. Way to go, Levi.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow. So where were you born and raised?
Well, I was born in Danville, Indiana, and my dad worked for an animal pharmaceutical company, just medicines for animals. And I lived in Indiana till I was about 6. And then we moved to Minnesota, right around Prior Lake, Minnesota. Lived there for a couple of years. And then Dad said, "Hey, do you want to move to Texas?" And, it was freezing in Minnesota when he asked me if I wanted to move to Texas. He said it'd be a little warmer down there. So then we moved down to Amarillo, Texas. And that was kind of a culture shock, just when you're up in the cold weather and moving down to where it's warmer, and it seemed like the people are just a different kind of special down in Texas, just very welcoming. And so I got to live there for a couple of years, and then eventually we moved back to Indiana. And then I finished high school in Indiana, went to Purdue University, got a degree there. And, that's a little bit about my background. Now I'm married. I've got 4 kids. So we've got a really loud home right now. Kids ranging from 10 down to 2.
Wow.
So we stay busy, and my 10-year-old's very musical. She can sing and dance. And my son, he's kind of in the middle, but he loves to play guitar. He's left-handed. So when we sit down to play guitar, he kind of mirrors me. And, it's just a lot of fun watching them grow. And, I'm still staying really busy with my music and touring and trying to balance the family life, and just be a good dad and be there for my family is important to me too. But just being a good example to them. And, so there's quite a bit going on. I also work with a lot of farmers in our area in Indiana. I've got a very successful agricultural business that I built with, just from the ground up,
Awesome.
selling corn and soybean seeds. So the seed that they plant in the spring is what I work on selling to them. And that's been good for me. And it's played into my country music a lot too. A lot of my farmers are fans of mine, and they listen to my music, but they also come to our county fair shows and things like that. So I get pretty involved in their communities with different agricultural events and things like that.
Oh boy, you're sure keeping it country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how often do you go into Nashville?
Just about once a month for a week. And I've been we had a townhouse in there all the way up until COVID hit. So for the last 7 years, we had a townhouse, and then COVID hit, and it was like, okay, well, I think, I've got enough relationships and a lot of, key people on my team, to where I don't have to be there all the time. Essentially, I go there to write and create great music and have, great meetings, but then it's pretty much business for me. I mean, I'll stack up 6 or 7 meetings in a day, for a whole week and just get a lot of things done to where I've got plenty of things to work on by the time I'm headed back and working with my team. You know, a lot of our recordings done in Nashville, and then my band gets back together to learn those records, and then we go out and tour with those. So, yeah, but Nashville's great. It's changed a lot since when I started going there in 2012. You know, the biggest thing's the skyline, you know, so it's just a growing, you know, constant construction, constant people moving in. And it's just a town that's exploded. But, you know, I still love the country music that's made there, and I love country music history. I love the Country Music Hall of Fame, and, you know, some of those older singers like Marty Stewart that are keeping the history of country music alive. I really love history, and I love country music history. Loretta Lynn and her family, you know, I'm really good friends with some of her family members. And, you know, this year when she passed away, you know, it was just heartbreaking, but they're just such a great family. And there's just so much history there, you know, with her and the Judds and some of those families that really keep it going.
Yeah, we love all them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Do you ever come out touring to the West out here?
Out to the West sometimes. The closest I've been to you probably is Santa Barbara. Yeah, and you know, California is great. I mean, there's such a diverse you know, topographical setting there. You could be in the mountains, you know, and in the morning, and then yeah, and then you could be surfing in the afternoon. You know, and you know, I've been out there to different wineries and things like that. I performed at different wineries, and it's just a beautiful state. So yeah, I'd like to get out there some more here soon.
Sounds good. We look forward to having you and welcome you to this crazy state down here.
Yeah, it's
wineries.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of wineries. There's actually a lot of dairy and dairy cattle and things like that. So it's really neat.
Very good. So who's been your mentor with your career?
I've been very fortunate to have people that have just invested in me. You know, it started out with a guy named Chuck Aaron, who was a studio session player out in California, and he moved to Indiana, and he just kind of took me under his wing and kind of helped me make some initial connections in my career. You know, right now, Ryan McMahon is my day-to-day manager. And he's been great. He kind of comes from the rock side of things, but he's just been awesome. You know, believes in me, pushes me, challenges me. You know, and you know, just a lot of great folks along the way. You know, just different bands. I'm really good friends with the Kentucky Headhunters, and the Oak Ridge Boys have been great to me. You know, it's like anytime any of those guys are around, you know, if I'm opening for them, that's one thing, but sometimes I'll just, you know, text them and they'll just say, hey, come up on the bus and hang out, you know, and it's been fun. Yeah.
You'll write a book one day about all this experience.
I'm sure I will. You know, Manuel's another one. Manuel is a designer who designed a lot of Johnny Cash's clothes and Elvis's clothes and Elton John. Wow. And you know, I got to sing at his birthday party, and
how cool.
So it's just been, yeah, I mean, I just love the down home, I mean, just relationships that are in Nashville. It's just great when you can get around great people and you know, just lean on their wisdom. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool. Let's talk about the Holly Jolly Christmas. Who produced it, and let's talk about the video itself.
Yeah, well, I've got my own studio here in Indiana, and we shot it right in the setting that I'm in right now. You know, Ryan, my manager, was like, hey, you know, it'd be great to get some acoustic Christmas things going, and I said, well, I really like this Holly Jolly Christmas, and so I had my day-to-day assistant. His name's Noah Freeman. And he's kind of my tour manager, but he also does a lot of audio visual stuff. He mixes our shows. And so he kind of helped me set up a space where we could do, you know, just a good job on a recording. And then my buddy, James Gillespie, does a lot of our video work. So he helped me on the video side. And then, you know, it didn't take a whole long time. I think I might've sang through it a couple times, and then we recorded it, and we ran it into some you know, good software to where we could mix it and make it sound good from an audio standpoint, and I gave it to my PR guy, Scott, and he's a great guy, and
Yep.
I was planning on just putting it out on my Facebook page. He goes, before you do that, I want to make some connections, and I'm really happy that you guys get to premiere it. So
we are excited. It's
awesome.
amazing. I can't wait for everybody. It's one of my favorite songs too, and you did a great job. And it's
thank you.
Oh, I hope that you're going to, maybe next year we can get you to do a whole Christmas album, because there's so many amazing songs.
Oh,
and
man.
you need to have your daughter on something too.
I should do that. Yeah, I should do
Great.
that. And then you could see her sing.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite songs, your favorite Christmas songs?
Oh, I always like the Holly Jolly Christmas, but I love White Christmas, and
Okay.
I love anything that Elvis does.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, he's so soulful, and I like George Strait's. I think it's Christmas Cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I love Reba. Reba did a song last year, a new song, something about Christmas, and she wrote. And I always listen to country, like Sirius Radio. I listen to the country Christmas. That's my favorite. I like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, but boy, when it comes to country, they really can sing that Christmas music.
Well, we have a lot of the same musical taste, I think. I love Elvis. I love his charisma. I enjoyed the movie that came out this year about him, kind of through Tom Parker's perspective. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much great music. And actually, Elvis was a huge influence on me. Just his vocal range. He can sing super high notes, super low notes. He's got that blues, he's got country, he's got rock and roll. He can be real smooth, Sinatra type, or he can just really be rocking. And it's just, I've really just tried to channel, his vocals. You can't replicate Elvis, but man, you can learn a lot from his example.
I always said, okay, Lord, did you really have to take him? I know you wanted to have him for yourself, but we sure missed him.
I mean, he was incredible. Yeah.
Can you imagine him today? Oh, he would just
amazing. Yeah. I mean, he was the first to do so many things. You look at the satellite performance in Hawaii, and first guy to have jets, and the first guy to, if you've been to Graceland and you've been in the basement, you've seen all the TVs that are stacked up flush with the wall. First guy to have, flat mounted TVs in his living room. I mean, just way ahead of his time. It's just incredible.
Well, what are your social medias?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, at Levi Riggs, so LeviRiggs. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. TikTok, we're working on that, but my primary platform is Facebook and Instagram.
Very good. So what have you asked Santa for this year?
Oh man, I don't know. I've got, you start to just be thankful. I'm very blessed, and I can't really ask for a lot of material things. I'm very blessed. And I think as you mature, it's just, you just want great friendships. You want, great relationships. And, I just want blessings for my family and my team and my music business, and, all the people that are on my team. I want to see my team successful. So I can't ask for a lot of material things.
So what will the Riggs family be doing for Christmas this year?
Well, we have a few traditions. One of those things with these little kids we've got is on Christmas Eve, my wife likes to get everybody matching pajamas, so we get matching pajamas. We do Christmas cookies and bake Christmas cookies and have hot chocolate, and then typically we'll watch a Christmas movie together on Christmas Eve, and then wake up, and we let the kids open presents. But right now we're doing the elf on the shelf, the little elf that causes mischief. And this morning the elf got into the bathroom and took the toilet paper and TP'd the whole bathroom, and my son walked in there to discover that, and couldn't believe the mess that the elf made in the bathroom this morning. So we're having a lot of fun with their imaginations. So we need to do that.
Make sure you take pictures so you'll have all that for your little photo albums.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we are very excited here at the Hollywood Times to be premiering your Holly Jolly Christmas video tomorrow. I wish it was today, but we'll get this out and put that in with the whole premiere. So they'll have,
Well,
do you have any
great.
last words to say about that before we go?
No, I'm just excited. I wish all of y'all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And thank you so much for putting that song out.
Yeah, we thank you so much for taking the time, and we look forward to following you in 2023, and let us know anything else that's coming up.
I will. Thank you.
I appreciate it.